Hey everyone, Assalam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is your sister Aisha here, back with another video. Before I start jumping into Table Talk Thursday, I just want to say that I am going through a little bit of a process with my channel, and so I might change my name just to my Muslim name, which is Aisha Arshad. I think just having a actual name for the channel is better than things like that Muslim chick, or just like, I don't know, like a name you just make up. So I might just stick to my Muslim name, which is Aisha Arshad. I think that'll be easier, just, to search up a name and everything like that. So jumping into Table Talk Thursday, if you haven't already, add me on Instagram at that Muslim chick, and I will put it here so you see the spelling. Add me on Instagram so that you guys can really get involved with the videos. I did a question, like I did for people to suggest, questions for me to answer on my Instagram. And so everyone, I got at least 8 questions to answer. And they're really good questions, by the way. So thank you to everyone who suggested. So this video for Table Talk Thursday is literally just me answering your questions from my heart. No, I didn't have to research anything or think about it. This is just the questions that I got. So inshallah, it won't be too long. So the first question is kids education, public versus Islamic versus homeschool. So it's subhanAllah that I got this question. So I'm not going to claim to be educated on public school or Islamic school or homeschool. I'm definitely not educated on them. But now my son will be 2, inshallah, in a couple days. Inshallah, please keep him in your du'as. And now I know that, okay, he might start school when he's like 4, but I just feel like it's such a big topic and there's so much information out there. And so I want to start preparing now. I have, subhanAllah, like really been thinking about this, and I just don't know if I want my son to go to public school. Like, I went to public school, I know how it is, and I don't know, I just don't think it's a good environment. And I don't know, and when I see, like, my husband has talked to kids too that have went to Islamic school, and even from hearing their stories, I just don't think Islamic school is, I'll say this, if you are a Muslim parent that plan on sending your kids to Islamic school, do not think that you just send them to Islamic school and that's it. Like, the teachers and that environment will do all the work for you, and that your kids are going to come out as these amazing, pious Muslims. I do not think that's the case. And if you're going to send them to whatever school you're going to send them, if you're going to send them to public school or Islamic school, just know that you as a parent still have to play your role and do your part and be the biggest voices that your kids hear. So with that being said, I have been looking into homeschool, and I just, like, again, I'm not educated on this. This is just something that I have been looking into past couple days. I did think about it like months before, and now it's like really coming back to me. And I'm really thinking that if it's something that I could do, I really think that I would want to homeschool my son. I know that it's probably, I don't know anyone in my family who has ever homeschooled. I don't think anyone in my husband's family has ever homeschooled. But the reason why I am thinking about homeschooling, just entertaining the thought, so don't quote me here if, like, a couple years from now my son's going to public school or Islamic school. This is just like my thought process. There's a sister named Zora Sarari, I hope I'm saying that right, and she's a homeschooling mom, and her kids are very successful, mashallah. May Allah bless her family. And she said something very important. She basically said that when she looked at important people in history, and when she looked at the Prophet and the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, like, these people did not go to a public institution to learn, and they're still great. You get me? Like, they learned more in a private setting with, like, one-on-one, like, mentorship, and and that has, she feels like that played a part in their greatness. And so, subhanallah, when I think about the fitna that is out there in the world today, and the thing is that, like, my son is an imana, which means that he's a trust that Allah has given to me, and just thinking about just sending him, let's just say, as a 4-year-old, and just sending him out into the world, into public school or Islamic school, but without really, like, those are a lot of hours that my son is going to be away from me and getting knowledge and information from other people. And I just feel that, subhanallah, like, with homeschooling, I like the idea that, okay, my son will be with me and I can teach him academics, but I can also teach him morals and values and Islamic education and I could teach him adab, which is like manners, and he can get all of that before he's bombarded with like outside information, if you get me. I just feel like subhanallah, like just I don't know, it when I think about it, it really scares me. Like there is a lot of fitna, and when I see younger kids and teenagers, and subhanallah, it's just I just really want more for my son. I want more for myself. And so I'm right now researching homeschooling. I'm entertaining the idea, so I'm just gonna spend my days, inshallah, researching it. Again, he's almost 2, inshallah, so it's not like he's going to school tomorrow, but I'd rather be prepared and like get all my information ready now so that I can make a decision confidently when the time comes for him to go to school. So I think homeschooling is amazing. I think women who homeschool and can homeschool is just like amazing. May Allah reward you guys for all your efforts. Again, as days go by, I just feel like my son is like, he is a trust from God to me, and I want to be as responsible as I can with this trust, and to really cultivate him and his mind and his thinking, and just really for his best interest. So it's like I went to public school, like I wasn't a Muslim before, and like I converted to Islam at 15, and like I said, like Islam raised me. That's how I feel. Like with that, like my parents are great parents. It's not like they're not. But the fact of the matter is, like, the social pressure in public school, social pressure outside, like, it is a lot. And so my thing is, I feel like some parents, like, they send their kids to public school and they're just thinking like, oh, well, they're going for education. But I'm like, there's so much more going on than education, like, at public school. And so I just don't want other people, I guess, to have more of a dominant influence over my child than I do. Because at the end of the day, he is my child. So yeah, that's to answer your question. Sorry, I don't want to stay too long in each one. Might do a part 2 to this. So question 2 is your opinion on taking niqab off for work, but putting it back on for normal day-to-day outside work. Okay, so haram, please don't attack me. This is just my opinion. My thing is, okay, so if I wasn't a niqabi and I just wore hijab, and people didn't want to hire me because of my hijab, I would not remove my hijab for that. Again, maybe I don't know what I would do if I was in a situation where this was like my life is on the line. Like if I don't get a job, I can't feed myself, I can't feed my family. I don't know how I would be, but I would hope that I would put my trust in Allah first. And honestly, in this day and age, like you can find a job as a hijabi. You definitely can. I'm not saying it will be easy, but you definitely can. I don't think we're there that a hijabi like cannot find work. So I would never remove my hijab to go to work and vice versa. Not coming with the niqab. The niqab now is something that is definitely not the norm in society, and not even the norm in the Muslim community, okay? So even by non-Muslims, the niqab is seen as something as foreign, and even with the Muslims, niqab is seen as something as foreign. If my life depended on it, like if my life depended on the sustenance, like, I need to take care of my son and there's no way for me to get income, I can't find a job, like I would do everything in my power first, like find a job on like through online or through the internet, whatever it is. But if I couldn't, and a sister couldn't, like she needed, like her livelihood depended on it, I would say to, if you, again, this, don't take my opinion, but I'm just saying this is my opinion to the ask. I guess I would like find a job. I would wear my niqab all the way to work, and once I got to work, I would take it off, and as soon as I got ready to leave work, I would put it back on. And maybe some people might think that that's hypocritical, but I just feel like you have to start somewhere. I'm not someone that I just like jump into something full force, and people are not black and white, and life is not black and white. And so I feel like some effort is better than no effort. So if somebody attacks me for this opinion, I would say, so would you rather the sister just completely not wear niqab at all? Like at least it's at a work setting, it's for a couple hours, and maybe the men at that job, who knows, maybe you can get a job where it's not many men around, maybe it's an office work, so not many people you have to interact with anyways. So there's different things. So that's just my opinion. But definitely, inshallah, may Allah make it easy for all the niqabis out there who want to keep their niqab and want to work. May Allah bless us with more job opportunities that we can keep our niqab on while we work here in the West and overseas, inshallah. Number 2, just reading my questions. Number 3, actually, how to manage your house cleaning and cooking with a toddler. So I haven't gotten this down packed, I'm a cleanaholic. Like, I love to clean. I love a clean home. I love folding laundry. I just love cleaning. Like, I have OCD when it comes to cleaning. But when you have a toddler, you gotta chill out a little bit. Let them have their fun. Let them make their mess. You can clean your house later. But what I did do is that I got an index card and I wrote like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the whole week. And I just assigned one chore, like major chore that needs to be done for each day. Now, I'm not 100% doing it all the time, but it's there and I know what it is, and I read it often to try to remind me of what my job is. So like Mondays and Wednesdays, I think, or Monday and Thursdays is mopping the floor. I have Saturdays, which is literally supposed to be like the stove and the microwave and the toaster, like the all of the mechanical stuff that we use daily to day. Sweeping is something that's daily. Washing the dishes is something that's daily. Laundry day has its day. Folding laundry has its day because I can't really do both in one day sometimes. And so I would say just have it there. Even if you don't do what I'm saying, at least you have to start by writing things out and being able to see it. And so seeing it will, inshallah, help you to do it. Cleaning, again, like I try to do things where it's like, if there's a mess, and like I see my son, okay, he's independent playing, even if it's for 5 minutes, I will take that 5 minutes to hurry up and like wash those dishes or to clean up the other toys that he's not playing with. So just look for the pockets of time that your kid is occupied that you can actually do some cleaning. If you want to do deep cleaning, I definitely suggest when they're taking a nap, or waking up before them. I have to wake up before my toddler. If I wake up with him, like I am already in a bad mood. Not because I don't like waking up with him, but I'm the kind of person that like I need to ease into my day and I need my time to myself. So in the morning, I need to read my Quran. I need to write in my planner. I need to read my book. I need to write my thoughts. Like I need to do my yoga or workout, not all in one morning, spread out throughout the week. But that's how I am. Like I need that time to ease into the day. Not to mention drinking a cup of coffee in silence. Like when you become a mom, drinking coffee or your tea or whatever, your matcha, like in silence without your toddler, is like me time. It's amazing, even though it's 5 minutes, but it's amazing. And so when I wake up with him, it's like, okay, I'm turning 26 soon, inshallah, next week, inshallah. And so I don't know, I feel old, guys. And so when I wake up in the morning, it's not like I'm like, yay, hooray. I'm like, okay, alhamdulillah, let me get my coffee, let me move. But if I wake up with him, he's just like, good morning, mom, like, let's go. And he's ready, he has full energy, and I don't. And so that unbalance with both our energies really throws me off, and like I don't like it. So I would say get up, if you can, get up before your toddler and like do your stuff for yourself, but also do those, maybe those, I know sisters that start cooking as like early in the morning. It just makes it easier for them. So you have to like sacrifice maybe a little sleep just to get certain things done so you're not in chaos throughout the day. And so those are just like a few little tips that I have. I also, if you live with your in-laws, take advantage of the time that they go up, or wherever you guys live, or when they go and see their grandparents. Like when my husband takes my husband up like in the evening for like, even if it's 10 minutes, usually it's more than that, alhamdulillah. But even if it's 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, he's gone for 10 minutes. I have 10 minutes. Let me wash the dishes. Let me pray Isha, because when he comes back down, I know I'm probably going to forget and, whatever. So definitely do take advantage of the times where other people are watching your child to clean and take care of the house, inshallah. Number 4, French Montana. Okay, so somebody wants me to talk about French Montana, about his video with the niqabis. All I will say is like, subhanAllah, I'm not going to give this too much thought, but subhanAllah, I just feel like, some people are trying to message me saying that it's not sexualizing women. I don't care. It is sexualizing women. It is giving an idea of what a niqabi woman is, and other than the idea that she is a pious woman, okay? Like, that's it. Like, whatever you want to say. And, whatever. Women have desires, men have desires. This is not about saying that, oh, women who cover do not have desires. That's, it's common sense. We're human beings. Allah made us with desires. But what I'm saying is that I just feel like it is an attack on Muslim women, and I feel like it is trying to say something to us to get us to not cover, or to say that, okay, you're covered, but if you, I don't know, there's an underlying tone, like whether you want to argue with me or not and say, oh no, it's just art. We do not want to be in your art. We do not want to be in your music video. We don't need to be in your music video. I don't know. I don't think that he was trying to say anything positive about that. And there will be young girls that watch these things, and I don't think that it's about that. I will do another video about, because it needs a whole separate video about hijabi gurus and like the fashion hijabi movement and all these things. I don't really agree with it. I really don't. It's not a judgment on sisters who do. If you know me, you would know that like I don't like the fact that people may look at a niqabi and think like automatically, oh, she thinks she's better than me because she's covered more than me. Wallahi, I do not think that at all. My hijab, my niqab is really just a personal journey between me and Allah, and that's it. Like, I may have strict views, but like, I keep my strict views, like, it's on me. I put it on myself. I don't necessarily hold that to other people, you get me? And so I don't judge sisters, like, it's a journey. But again, I do have opinion with the hijabi fashion movement and all these things. I don't think that it's a good thing. And I will definitely talk about that in another video, inshallah. Number 5, what is your niqab experience and what led you to it? So, subhanAllah, I converted at 15 and I fell in love with the idea of hijab because the idea of, okay, I've always had the idea of being modest. My mom definitely like instilled in us certain things. So even as a non-Muslim, when I went to the beach, I was never allowed to wear a bikini, and I never did. Like, we would just wear, me and my sisters, like big t-shirts and like maybe like capris or some sort of short pants, but it wasn't like a bikini or anything like that. And so I never wore one. But definitely in high school, I wore what any other high school girl wore: tight jeans, tight shirts, like, whatever. It shows your body, it exposes your body. And at that time in high school, I was on the dance team. And so when I learned about hijab, like from Quran, I always took it as, wow, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is teaching me a different way. Like, he's teaching me a different way to be. And like, I didn't know that I was allowed to be modest, if that makes sense. I don't know how to explain that. But because my society never really, and I never really seen women dress modestly, I didn't know that I had a right to be modest. I didn't know that I had a right to hide my body or cover my body if I so wanted to. Like, even though people might say it's freedom to uncover or whatever it is, the fact that I didn't even know that I was allowed to do the opposite of that says something to me. And so Islam came about and taught me a different way of doing things, and I'm forever grateful to Allah for guiding me to Islam. And so basically, I knew that I wanted to wear hijab, but the first time, like when I converted, I wanted those 2 years because I was in 10th grade. I wasn't ready to wear hijab. I wasn't ready to quit the dance team. And so I promised Allah, I said, please just keep me alive until until I graduate high school. And I promise you, I will wear hijab. I want to. I'm just not ready. Let me use these 2 years to maybe not practice outwardly, but to change my heart inwardly. And so those 2 years was spent like praying, learning my prayers, making dua, reading Quran in English. That really, really reading Quran in English really put that strong iman in my heart. And so, alhamdulillah, when I when I graduated high school, I put on the hijab in the summer. It wasn't properly. Again, my thing is, as long as you know what the goal is, and as long as you know what the true hijab is and what the true covering is, that the Prophet, peace be upon him, that the Sahaba, the Sahabiyat spoke about, and that's your goal, then that is a good thing. You know what your goal is. And so while I was wearing the turban hijab, and while I was still wearing tight jeans, but like a little longer shirts and stuff, I knew that that wasn't it. I knew that that wasn't the end. But I knew that it was a journey and a progression, and nothing happens overnight. And so at 17, so I converted at 15. At 17, it was the hijab. Between 17 and 18, it was wearing like pants and longer shirts. By 18 or 19, I knew that I wanted to wear skirts. So I had a bunch of sisters and they all wore skirts. They gave me like a whole bag of skirts, alhamdulillah. Because I was young, I didn't have a job, I didn't have money to go buy a whole new wardrobe. So these sisters gave me, hand-me-downs, alhamdulillah, skirts. So I started wearing skirts at like 18, 19, I think it was. And then at 20, I don't remember exactly, but like at 2020, I think, it was like abayas only. So now I only wear abayas. And then at 23, I'm 25 right now, so at 23, I started wearing niqab. And niqab is something I wanted to wear for years, like maybe 5-6 years now. But I know I couldn't because I lived with my non-Muslim parents, and I knew it would have been too much for them. And so I just again made dua to Allah, like, please, I'm serious, I want to wear it. Rabbi zidni ilma, give me, knowledge about it. And inshallah, when I get married and I have my own home, I will wear niqab. I spoke about that in my other video, so you can go check that out. In my video about wearing the niqab for the first time on college campus. So that's in my video, so you can go look at that. And I talk about how my husband at first didn't even want me to wear niqab, and inshallah how I convinced him basically that I want to wear it. So you can get more of that full story there. Number 6, teaching Islam to a toddler. So teaching Islam to a toddler, I would say, is number 1, practicing Islam and learning Islam for yourself. Number 1, you cannot expect your kids to do something that you do not do. Little tips that I have, like for my toddler, is that every morning he listens to me reciting the morning adhkar. Like that's something first thing in the morning. He drinks milk, and so while I'm feeding him, I am reciting the morning adhkar. So he hears that every day. The evening adhkar, I need to work on that definitely, because by the time evening adhkar time comes around, I'm like busy and just running around. But inshallah, I will get to that. So morning adhkar and evening adhkar, reciting them or playing them in your house so the child can hear it. Definitely reciting Quran when you're putting them to sleep, reciting the 3 qul's to them, Ayatul Kursi, letting them hear that, letting them hear dhikr while you're cooking, even if they're playing, even if you think they're not paying attention. Subhanallah, trust me, they are paying attention. Or it's there, it's in their mind, they're aware of it. So when you're cooking, when you're cleaning the house, doing dhikr out loud, subhanallah, subhanallah, astaghfirullah. In our house, I put the du'as everywhere. So the du'as when eating, it's by the dining table. The du'a for going in and out of the bathroom, it's right there. The du'a for leaving the home, coming into the home. And some other du'as I just have around, like in his room and on another wall. And so when we go in the bathroom, he hears me recite it, and he always says Ameen at the end. He knows that he just started, subhanallah, saying Bismillah before he's eating and drinking without me telling him. And this is just because we say it, like he sees us say it, and so me and my husband. And so, subhanAllah, I've seen that he has picked it up, and even without me reminding him or telling him, subhanAllah, he says Bismillah before eating. And even when he hears us like say a dua in Arabic, he automatically says Ameen. And so teaching Islam to a toddler is really, it's you. Practice Islam in your home. Make it something, outwardly that they see. Don't think that, oh, let me read my Quran like without them there. Like definitely do that because you want to read it peacefully. So have a time where you have your time to yourself where the kids are not around and you recite your Quran to yourself. But also have a time where you purposely sit in the living room, let them sit with you and read Quran and hear you recite Quran, because they're a toddler. Let them hear you recite the Quran. Those are just quick little tips that I have. I have one more question, which is praying in public. Somebody asked, if somebody wants to pray in public, how can they start doing that? Because praying in public, I know, you get anxiety attack, trust me, I know, because you don't want people to think that you're being weird or whatever it is. So I would say definitely, if you have friends, number 1, okay, I started praying in public and I wasn't scared to because the friends that I already had, like, they prayed in public. Like, no matter if we went to the movie theaters, the mall, to a restaurant, like, they would always pick a restaurant that was near a masjid, or the restaurant had a place to pray. Or the movie theater, they don't care. They would go before the movie started, go to the side and go pray. In the mall, we would pray in dressing rooms. So because I had friends that I knew, like, even though I had anxiety about it, but because I knew that, hey, if we're going to go hang out, they're going to pray. So I had confidence like that. I would say if you don't have friends that pray, but you want to start praying, right? And you know that you hang out with them often, just let them know. Like, let them know. This was something that I did with hijab because I was really nervous about just coming. I was really nervous about just showing up one day and people seeing me in hijab. So I spoke about it. Like, before I thought about it, I was like, oh yeah, in the future I'm going to wear hijab. Oh yeah, I'm planning to wear it in the summer. So if you see me, don't freak out. Like, I would just really tell people that. So if you have friends that don't pray, I would just let them know, like, hey, and if they're your friends, they'll support you. And if they're not, then hey, man, like, that's not a real friend, subhanAllah. So if you have friends that don't pray, just letting them know, like, hey, I know we're going to go out at this time. Can we hang out like 20 minutes later just so that I can pray home and then we go out? And I want to be back home before the next prayer. Or Just letting you know, while we're out, I will step to the corner and pray. Is there any way you can stay with me, like stand next to me or sit next to me, so that I'm not scared, you know? I had a lot of non-Muslim friends that were totally supportive of me when I converted. Like, they knew who I was, they knew how I was, and they definitely supported me. So I would say letting the people around you know that you're going to start praying, letting your family know that you're going to start praying. Always carrying a prayer mat with you, so that, and if you don't wear hijab, carrying a hijab with you, or like a cardigan if you're going to wear short sleeves. So carrying what you need, when you're going to pray, it will push you, because you already have it. You have your prayer mat, you have your hijab, and you have that. So there's no excuses if you're outside, like, oh, it's not like, oh, I don't have a hijab right now, or oh, I don't have my prayer mat. You carry one with you. They have traveling ones that like can like literally fit in your hand, and fold out into a mat. And I would say leaving your house, what we'll do, definitely will encourage you to pray outside. But as far as getting like over your anxiety and stuff, I would just say dua, dua, dua. And just do it. Just push yourself in it. Definitely start out at a place where you know you'll be safe. And I feel like a college campus, inshallah, matters what college you're going to. But I would say in a college campus would be a safe place, like to get comfortable in your MSA room. You know, places where you know you'll be safe, inshallah. Starting off that way, and that will boost your confidence to pray outside. So that's it, guys. This is so long because of all these questions. But thank you so much for giving questions. If you have any questions, sisters, brothers, anything, please do not hesitate to suggest them to me. Leave your comments in your questions in the comments below, and I will get to them. Inshallah, this is your sister Aisha. I hope that this video was a benefit to you. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that you get your notifications when I upload. And like this video and leave a comment. So until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And peace out.